Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In the latest Young and Restless preview for the week of December 23 to 27, it's time to deck the halls in Genoa City. Read on for the details and watch the video below. It's been a tough year for the Newmans, between Claire and her crazy Aunt Jordan to Nikki's struggle with alcoholism. And finally, corporate takeovers and Tucker McCall. Now, however, they are coming together for Pete's at Christmas. Coming up, Claire and Cole arrive at the ranch for Christmas and find Nikki and Victor kissing. Claire teases they must really be feeling the holiday spirit. They're not even under the mistletoe. The Abbotts haven't had it easy this year, either, what with Ashley's multiple personalities, stolen secret formulas, and, well, Diane. So you know it's the holidays when it brings this gang together. Next week, Diane toasts to overcoming challenges with courage and determination in true Abbott fashion. Tracy and Ashley, sitting across from her, look skeptical, but cheers to that. It looks like Phyllis is the last to know about the new developments in Sharon's case. Not only did they discover Sharon's meds were laced with PCP, but through hypnosis, Sharon recalled a very much alive Heather when she began to black out, and that someone else was in the room with them. Coming up, Lauren tells Phyllis, "We will never ever stop caring about you. But there are things about this case against Sharon that you don't know about." Phyllis replies, "What do you know? Tell me." Finally, Sharon and Nick lead Mariah, Tessa and Faith in singing Deck the Halls. They should enjoy the holiday while they can, as Ian is still out there, and he wants Sharon dead. Be sure to read the Young and Restless spoilers to learn who challenges Nick and who has disturbing news for Adam. Phyllis had always prided herself on being a perceptive woman. She had a way of seeing through people, detecting subtle shifts in mood and tone that others might miss. For years, she had used this skill to her advantage in both her personal and professional life. But when it came to her longtime friend Sharon, Phyllis knew that there were aspects of their relationship that she could not quite untangle. Sharon had always been a bit of an enigma, someone whose surface cheerfulness often hid a world of complexity beneath. The unraveling of Sharon's case began with an unexpected phone call one crisp autumn afternoon. Phyllis was sitting in her cozy living room, knitting a scarf, when her phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, but the area code looked local. Hesitant but curious, she picked up the phone. "Phyllis, this is Detective Harris," came the response. "I'm calling about Sharon Adams. I'm afraid I have some news you won't like." Phyllis felt a chill run through her. Sharon was one of her oldest friends, someone she had known since their days in high school. They'd shared everything over the years, the highs, the lows, the secrets. The thought that anything involving her friend could be the subject of a police investigation was incomprehensible. "What's happened to Sharon?" Phyllis asked, her voice trembling despite her best effort to sound composed. The detective sighed, and for a moment, Phyllis thought he might hesitate. Instead, his voice was steady but grim. "It's a matter of a criminal investigation. Sharon is a key figure in an ongoing case. I can't share too many details right now, but I can tell you this. Sharon's been hiding something for quite a while." Phyllis's heart skipped a beat. Sharon was a woman who had always been open with her, always the one to lend an ear when Phyllis needed it. Could she really be involved in something so serious? "What do you mean, hiding something?" Phyllis asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "I don't understand. Sharon would never do anything like that. She's just not that kind of person." Detective Harris sighed again. "I understand this is difficult, but it's important that you understand. Sharon's been involved in a money laundering scheme for several years. She's been using her small business as a front. We've been following the case for a while, and everything points to her being one of the key players. I need to ask you, Phyllis, do you know anything about her financial dealings? Has she ever mentioned anything about unusual transactions or secretive business dealings?" Phyllis's mind raced, replaying moments with Sharon in her head. She could see Sharon's friendly smile, her warm demeanor, the way she always seemed to be in control. But now, Phyllis realized she had never truly paid attention to the details. Sharon had always been discreet about her personal life, but Phyllis had assumed it was just the way Sharon was. She had never suspected that her friend was leading a double life. "No," Phyllis whispered, feeling her throat tighten. "No, I don't know anything about that. We'll be in touch if we need more information. In the meantime, if you think of anything, please don't hesitate to reach out," the detective said before hanging up. Phyllis sat there for a long moment, the weight of the conversation settling in. She didn't know what to think. Sharon involved in something as sinister as money laundering. It didn't make sense. Sharon had always been kind, generous, and hardworking. She had a small bakery in town, a place where the community gathered. Phyllis had never seen any signs that Sharon was living beyond her means or involved in anything criminal. But now, it seemed, the truth was beginning to crack open. Phyllis decided that she had to speak with Sharon directly. She couldn't bear the thought of her friend being caught in something like this without understanding what had happened. The next morning, she drove to Sharon's bakery, her mind still swirling with doubt and confusion. When she arrived, Sharon was behind the counter, arranging freshly baked loaves of bread. The warm, comforting aroma filled the air, but Phyllis found it impossible to shake the unease that had settled in her stomach. She took a deep breath and walked inside, the bell above the door jingling softly. "Good morning, Phyllis. How are you today?" Sharon greeted her with a bright smile, as though nothing in the world was wrong. Phyllis tried to smile in return, but it felt strained. "I'm fine, Sharon. Actually, I came by because we need to talk." Sharon's smile faltered just slightly, but she quickly recovered. "Of course, Phyllis. What's on your mind?" Phyllis leaned in slightly, her voice lowering. "I heard from the police yesterday. They're investigating you, Sharon. They say you've been involved in something illegal." Sharon's face turned pale. For the first time, Phyllis saw a crack in her friend's confident exterior. Sharon glanced around the bakery nervously before she spoke again. "Phyllis, I didn't want you to find out this way," Sharon said, her voice trembling. "I never meant for any of this to happen. But it's true, in a way." Phyllis felt her heart pound in her chest. "What do you mean? What's going on, Sharon? Why didn't you tell me?" Sharon looked down at the counter, her hands fidgeting with a napkin. "I got involved with the wrong people. At first, it was just a small favor, something that seemed harmless. But then things escalated, and before I knew it, I was in too deep. I tried to get out, but it was too late. The money kept flowing through my business, and I didn't know how to stop it." Phyllis listened in shock, the truth unfolding before her. Sharon had been caught in a web of deceit, a victim of circumstance as much as a perpetrator. It wasn't a simple case of greed or malice. Sharon had been desperate, trying to save her business from financial ruin. "I didn't want this to happen," Sharon whispered, tears welling in her eyes. "I never wanted to hurt anyone." Phyllis stood there for a long time, silent, processing everything she had just heard. She had always believed in her friend, in Sharon's goodness. And now she understood. Sharon had made a terrible mistake, but she was not the criminal the detectives had painted her to be. After a moment, Phyllis reached out and gently placed a hand on Sharon's arm. "I believe you, Sharon. I know you didn't want this, and I'll help you however I can. We'll get through this together." Sharon looked up, a mix of relief and guilt flooding her face. "Thank you, Phyllis. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'm so grateful you're still here." As they sat down together in the warmth of the bakery, Phyllis knew that the road ahead would be difficult. But she also knew that, despite everything, Sharon was still the friend she had always known and loved. The truth had come to light, and now, together, they would face whatever came next.